Hello, welcome to Oracle Fusion Hub's ADF tutorials. This is the first of a series of ADF tutorials that I would be discussing. And today I would be discussing on how to develop an end-to-end Oracle ADF application. When I talked about ADF application, it means Oracle Fusion application. And before we start, we should be having Oracle JDeveloper 11G Release 2 version, and the exact version number of Oracle JDeveloper that I'm using is Studio Edition version 11.1.2.2.0. I recommend the viewers to use the same version. And then the second thing is I would be using an Oracle XE database, and the tables that I would be using are like employees, departments, and jobs. So if you query employees table, this is the employees table. You have employee ID, first name, last name, email, phone number, manager ID, department ID, and then you have departments table where you have all the department details along with the location ID, which is a foreign key. We're not using the locations table anyway. And jobs table. Jobs table, we're not using it to update or delete. We just need it for a query purpose, for querying purposes only. And along with Oracle JDeveloper 11G Release 2, we would be getting the WebLogic server as well. So let us get started with the development of an ADF application. Hello, welcome to Oracle Fusion Hub's ADF tutorials. This is the first part of series of ADF tutorials. In this tutorial, I would be discussing with you on how to design and develop an end-to-end ADF application. By ADF application, I mean Oracle Fusion Web Application. The Oracle JDeveloper version that I would be using is Studio Edition version 11.1.2.2.0. If you're planning to work on Oracle JDeveloper and try to create an end-to-end application in the same lines that I'm doing right now, then I recommend you to install the same version that I'm using it. And then I need a database. So just click on database navigator and you'll be, I have Oracle XE as the database, so I'm using that, and I expect you to use the same database because this HR schema has got employees, departments, and jobs tables. So let us now try to see what is there in employees table. Employee ID, first name, last name, email, salary, commission, manager ID, and department ID. These two are the foreign keys to departments. Department ID is the foreign key to the departments. Manager ID is a self foreign key. And the departments table, you have department ID, department name, manager ID, and location ID. And this is the jobs table. These three tables will be used for our application. Okay, let us begin with developing an ADF application. Go to Application Navigator, click on New Application. And the new application that I would be creating is Fusion Web Application. I'm not discussing about any of the other applications apart from Fusion Web Application because I'm more concentrated. I'm concentrated on EBS, e-business suite, and the Oracle Fusion applications. So I would be creating Fusion Web Application ADF. Click on OK, and the application name that I would be using is HR app, and the application prefix would be Oracle Fusion Hub. This is my domain name, so I'm using the same thing. And I'm not going to change any of these things. Let them be as they are, and just click on finish. Wow, you're done with the most beautiful, the first step. You're almost done. You have two projects in the projects navigator. One is the model, and as in OAF, model contains all the entity objects and associations. View controller, they'll be having all the views. And here, one good thing that ADF has given us, which OAF hasn't provided, is the quick start checklist. This will make our life far better and far easier. Just proceed with the steps in the Fusion checklist, quick start checklist, and you'll almost finish most of your tasks. Since I have already, the first thing that I have is this plan your application, and since I have already planned my application, I don't need to do anything. I just simply flag it as done. And the second thing is connect to your database. Just click on create a database connection, and I would name this as HR because employees and departments tables are the tables that I'm using, and the schema that I would be using is HR. This is my local host, and my SID is XC because I'm using an XC database. Just click on text connection, and it's working properly. Just click on OK. Yes, I'm done with my connect to database, so I'll flag it as done, and then I'll go to the third step, build a business services. And in the build a business services, we have a lot of sub-steps, and one of the sub-step is create entity objects and associations. So just click on this and start creating entity objects. Which project do I need to create entity objects? Obviously it would be model. Click on OK, and this is the default connection. And here the schema that I would be using is obviously HR schema, and just click on query to get the list of all the tables that are present in this particular schema. Now since I'm using an XC database, and the tables that an XC database has, especially for HR schema, are very minimal, so I would simply click on query and I would get all the list of database tables. But if you are really using an EBS database, the e-business suite or the Oracle Fusion application database, then you have to give some name filter there, because if you click on query, you will be flooded with many database tables, and it takes a lot of time to get to the list. Now I have to create an entity object. I have to create entity objects for two tables. One is employees and the other one is departments. So just click on both the tables, shuffle it to the right handed side. Next, am I going to create view objects? Yes, obviously, because I have to create view objects on both of these entity objects. So I've just shuffled them. Click on next. And do you have to create a query based view objects? Yes, I would be doing it, because jobs is something that I would only be querying, but I'm not doing any updates or deletes on this insights. So just I've just shuffled it to the right hand side. It's on the selected box. Click on next. Am I adding it to application module? Yes, of course I will be adding it to application module. And just create some business components diagram. See how the data mapping is actually being done. It includes entity objects and associations, it includes view objects and associations, domains, application module. That would be perfect. Just click on finish and wait for ADF to create the whole structure. And this is how it does. Everything is done. All the entity objects, everything is created. This ADF is making our life so easy. And just check the components, business components diagram. You have a lot of things here in the employees table, and you have an association from employees table to departments table, and basically you just can see and roam around what is happening, how the mapping has been created for these two tables. Okay, I don't need this diagram as far as so far. Since we have created, let me write it down so that Okay, so the first step is we have created entity objects, we have created view objects, we have created application module. Hold on, I've created an application module along with view objects and entity objects. How do I test it? How do I see if everything is working in terms of in lines with what I've expected? How do I do that? Okay, just go on this application module, go to this application module, right click it, just click on run button. You'll be presented with Oracle ADF model tester. Here it comes, Oracle ADF model tester. Here, just click on departments view. You will be presented with the data and how the data is structured. For department ID 10, department name, manager ID, and location. Let us go to some 30 department where we have a lot of employees, and the associated, we have a data link here. We have a data link here, and we have the employees association. So just click on this employees view 3 and you'll be presented with all the employees. I mean the first employee, and click on the navigation button. You will have the second employee, employee ID 115. Department would be 30. Just go on, and the department for 30 departments, what are the employees and all. You can see the jobs view, which is a query only view, and you have the employees view. You have all these things. You can just roam around and see and just check what is happening there. And now since we have already created all these things and we have also tested this, let us go to the next part and see how we can extend the already created entity objects. Also, in the next part, we would be discussing on creating the JSF pages, the presentation layer. Thank you.